everybody been up to lately? All right, so I've been traveling, seeing different people, meeting amazing people on the road. And one of the great things that I get to do is I get to listen to a lot of people and I get to hear a lot of stories. And with this queen that we're going to be hearing from today, she's awesome. I mean, she's overcome a lot. She's a humanitarian because there's a lot of things that she's done and helped out in her community. So can't wait to hear from her. Let's see.
Here we go. Oh, afternoon. How are you, Mila?
How are you? How are you? How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for
Oh my
having
God.
me. Technical difficulties, but technology couldn't stop what God put together.
Okay, it always works out. It always,
Always.
always, always works out in the end. So I just want to let me just make sure everything is working fine and all right. Okay, okay, okay. We're up. We're Adam. Hello, Queen.
Hello, my
Look, I'm
darling.
look, look, y'all. I'm not even gonna act like I've known her for a minute, but my spirit feels like I've known her for a minute, if that even makes sense. All right. We're not even going to talk about the gist of how we met. We're just going to get into it. So, Miss Kamelah Blair, who is the new author of an amazing book that she just has out. So, I want everybody to just tune in and I want you to actually introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Again, Mila, thank you for having me on your platform. My name is Kamelah Blair. I am the new author of the Chronicles of Jane, the Jane print, and it's the first of many. It's a series book. It was out July the 23rd at 8 p.m., sold out in less than a week, and it was a surprise to friends and family. So it was kind of different in launching this book, as most authors would have a book launch and promote it. It was the only person who knew about this book being written was the publisher, which is Farah from Daughter of a King Publishing. So when I launched it, people just thought that because quarantine, we wanted to get together, and then it was magical. Magic happened at 8 p.m.
Nice. So, how did you meet Farah? Like, explain to people who Farah is. Like, because we can't just say, okay, yeah, I just met Farah. We have to give the picture of who Farah is and how she made all this happen.
So Farah is an amazing woman, which I met from another friend of mine, and we've been friends for like over 25 years. It was a conversation that we were having about me wanting to complete a book that I had written when I was in high school. Um, Again, I went through a lot of channels to get this book done. During the quarantine, that conversation, it was her name was brought up, her number was texted over to me. Um, a conversation was less than 20 minutes, and then it's been a conversation up until a while ago every day since. Like, Farah, she puts her 110% into any project that she's putting her name on. I mean, we've had days when I was like, Farah, I don't feel like doing anything today, and then she'll text me, hey Queen, no, come on, let's pray together, let's talk about it. Or she'll send me something inspirational from YouTube. I'm like, okay. So she's become someone even beyond the book that I look to as a mentor as well.
Mm, and that's important. See, and that's important when going into business as well. To just have that kind of feel like, you know what, it's not just about me giving her my money to do this. She actually
Right.
cares about my brand and stuff like that. So that's awesome. So once again, that's Farah Hodgkin. She is with Daughters of a King Publishing. Anything you need to get your book out there, get your story out there, get it revamped, published, edited, seek her. I will also put her information in the video later on so you can get her information. All right,
Absolutely.
so Camille, okay, so go on now. So you have this amazing story since high school. It's been
Right.
in you. Yes. So how did you keep track of everything? Did you keep a journal? Like,
So in the beginning, how it started, Mila, it was a group project we had fresh into high school. So grade 9, the first week in our English class, English literature, it was our project. So when it was being handed in to be marked, my teacher actually handed it in to the guidance counselor. And the guidance counselor called me in. And of course, me being stubborn, I didn't get to that guidance office probably a week or two later. And then when I got there, it was, Camille, you have a story. Did you ever think of putting it to paper? And I paused for a minute, and then we talked about it. We discussed it. She brought up some paperwork, and of course, again, being rebellious, I didn't think anything of it. So that was portion of the book that it was written as a school project. I then revisited this same project in 2014. The publisher at the time I was introduced to through a friend, $30,000. And then I was scaled back because of what I was researching on my own to what they were saying to me is, it kind of let me scale back from doing it. Then in 2018, October, just being home, it kept on coming back to me over and over to get it done. So for me, it's just that's just me personally, is it's like I had a task and it wasn't done. I then was introduced to another a ghostwriter who had worked for a publishing company, but she had known my parents. So we spoke, then we met up. I gave her a deposit. Late 2019, a couple of days after Christmas, she called me and she was saying, you know what, Camille, I'm going through some stuff with my family and my children and my husband. I want to return your deposit. And I said to her, you know what, just wait a little while, see what happens. Because my family knew her, I trusted her more. Mm-hmm. And of course, her price was much less at the time. And then she just returned the money to me, and then she sent me a whole list of numbers. So again, the same task is still not done. And then just by the grace of God, I met Farah, and then we put everything together and got it done.
And that was it. Magic from then.
In 5 months, Millie, in 5 months. 5 months, a whole book.
See, but people think that it can't be done, right? People think it's not possible. So in the time that it took you from 2018, then Christmas 2019 now, and now you meeting an individual, and now it took you 5 months. When is the next book coming? I know that's what people are saying. Like, when is the next one coming?
I know.
But like, what do you do now? Do you just market the heck out of this one, or are you trying to get more material for another?
So without giving out a lot, the material is going to be there because it's a true life story. There's no cap. That's what they say. There's no cap. So None. There's nothing to stop this from going on. I mean, I might not look that, but I'm over 40. So there's 40 years of just... Really?
What? Well, so
it's over for... You're amazing. So it's nothing. Yeah. It's just to put the pain to paper. Even when doing this first book, it could have been out in 4 months, so it is doable. I just had a moment where I didn't want to talk. So it was 2 weeks of not talking. I just shut the phone off. I didn't speak to Farah. I didn't speak to my friend. I didn't speak to the ghostwriter. And then that also pushed publishing and printing and shipping back another week and a half. So it could have been done in that 4 weeks. It was just that I had a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad that you took time out for that.
Yeah.
Because you needed that time, and some people don't take time out for that. And then sometimes you write in your anger, or you write in your distress, and you write in your emotions. And then that's not somebody that, you want people to see. So that's good that you actually took notice of that.
Yes.
It shows healing. That shows
very
a whole lot
so.
of healing.
Even in writing this book, I know it sounds repetitive because every platform that I've been on, which I'm grateful for, I've said is, I feel like I lost 30 pounds, like 10 pounds off my mind, 10 pounds off my heart, and 10 pounds off my back. Wow. I usually get up every morning from the age of 11, 12. I cannot sleep past 5:30. And the other morning, my son had to wake me up 7 o'clock. What's going on? But it's just the weight lifted feels amazing.
Yes, I love that. All right. So before we get into some of the book stuff, because I want to dig into the book, I want to talk about your Chronicles of Jane page on Instagram, your quotes. I do. And when me and you had a brief conversation, you're like, people, go on me with my quotes and stuff like that. And
Mm.
but when you go on the page and you actually read through the quotes, because one now, and y'all, Instagram is Chronicles of Jane, correct? Your Instagram for Chronicles
Chronicles
of Jane.
underscore of Jane.
Yes, Chronicles underscore of Jade. And somebody says, OG Key says, God is good and so proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't see the comments, but it's fine.
Yes, so, I'll be able to tell you. But yes, let me mute that. So look, I want to know what happened in 2006 to make loyalty go out the door, or was that just a random year you chose for that post?
Absolutely not. And I get this a lot from I posted it, and people relate to it. Is 2016. It was like, I hate to say that I was popular, but I was popular by default. So, and then yeah, and then I have this nurturing spirit. Is 2016, I learned, as small of a word as it is, I learned the word no. No. Yeah, thank you. So,
because some people still don't know that word. So
yeah, and then when I start to say no, I see people fall back. Mm-hmm. I even had a friend. She was a friend at the time. Tell me bluntly, after me saying no, and this is years of me saying, okay, don't worry about it. Okay, I can get this done. Okay, give me a week or two, or yes, I'll lend you this, or yes, I'll give you that, or yes, you can come stay with me, or just I was a yes man in a different light.
Yeah.
So I had her say to me bluntly, and I rate her. I'm going to say that before I even say the statement, is I rate her to this day. She turned to me one day after me saying no to something she asked me. And she looked me dead in the eyes and said, I'm only your friend for what you can do for me anyway. But I rate her because she voiced it. While there was others around me who were thinking the same thing, and that was their motive the whole time, but they would never say it. And people to this day is like, how could you still talk to her? And I'm like, well, I don't talk to her on 100% level, but I have to respect that she said what was on her mind.
Yeah. Yeah. She was honest.
She was. It was brutally honest, but it helped. So 2016, loyalty went out the door. You caught me a year too late. No.
Last year, maybe that would have went with me.
You had a chat.
Going forward.
Maybe in a text, maybe in an email. Now, nope.
None.
Period.
All right. So, blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in the time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth. Now, you put out just simple Psalms 41. So what about that scripture right there? Yeah, I went in there. I did. So what about that scripture? It's a tattoo.
It's a tat.
Tat.
This tattoo. This tattoo was done. Same high school art class, pin and needle. I read the Psalms once. I know, and you know what? Shout out to my art teacher. She understood us at the time. It was a place where we could just be ourselves. Right. But Psalms 41 is everyone's homework. I always tell people that. Now, if you continue to read it aloud, I'll stop you. Where is my part? So go ahead.
Oh, word. So wait, I need to really pull this up now?
Yeah,
because I just wrote down that little part. Okay, don't worry about it.
Let's get into it now.
Okay, look, she says go to the whole Psalm. Never mind.
Not that long, but when that part hit me, I was like, and then it also will tie into what you just asked me about 2016, and it was that one.
Okay. Look at how technology allows you just to do everything all at one time.
Right?
Pull up. You know, people say, I'm going to pull up on you. I'm going to pull up on you. All right. So verse 3. The Lord will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness. I said, Lord, be merciful unto me. Heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. Mine enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die and his name perish? And if he come to see me, he speaketh vanity. His heart gathereth iniquity to itself. When he goeth abroad, he telleth it. And that hate me whisper together against me. Against me do they devise my hurt. An evil disease, say they, cleaveth fast unto him. And now that he lieth, he shall rise up no more. Yea, mine own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, hath lifted up his heel against me. But thou, O Lord, be merciful unto me, and raise me up, that I may requite them. By this I know that thou favorest me, because mine enemy doth not triumph over me. And as for me, thou upholdest me in mine integrity, and settest me before thy face forever. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, from everlasting unto everlasting. Amen and amen.
Amen. You felt that now, right?
You just feel like such a covering when you're just talking about like no evil can speak over me, you know? So yeah.
So basically, from 4 onward, when they start to say that your friend who is like your friend who ate your bread,
who sat down with you and heels together, elbows linked.
Come on now. So which goes hand in hand with 2016. That was that.
That is.
So then I got it tatted. Right where everybody could see it.
You're like, nah, it's here. It's there. I love that. Accountability is key. Why?
In middle school, and let me put this out there, because I'm not a person, because I was actually a secretive person. In middle school, I think I feel sorry for my teachers. To this day, I tried to. I had a teacher, Mr. Belieber, teach me that word. It's because I had an excuse for everything, no matter what it was, but, but, and he said, you know what, Blair, take accountability. And when he see me through the hallways, he says, accountability, Blair, accountability, because he knows. He see me 15 minutes ago, he see me running, but I have an excuse. So It's something I also instilled in my children, my niece, my nephews, and my godchildren. You have to take accountability for your actions. It's a must. That's just it for me. It's a must.
I like that, because I always say that. I always say that accountability and acknowledgement are so key. So I like that. Release overthinking.
I strongly believe, I don't know what therapist or I don't know what judges out there, that overthinking is a disease and a crime.
A crime?
No, it's a crime because you know what?
I love that you say it's a disease, but why do you say it's a crime?
It's a crime because for me, and a few people that I know, is we're in the moment and we overthought the moment that we've reached 2033, and that's the story and we're sticking to it. So even when the truth is before you, or even when the fact is before you, you overthought the whole situation. It's a crime.
Yeah, it's a crime.
Because now you're locked up in these thoughts, and you can't get because you overthought it. That's what you think, and that's that. You have to release that. It's a must.
Yeah, definitely. I always think that overthinking, like that's why I was like, why do you say it's a crime? Because I think it's a joy stealer. You know, you can't have any joy because you're always overthinking something. You're always, if something's going well, you're thinking, well, maybe it's not going to go well for too long, you know? So it just really kills your joy. All right. So you seem like a very motivational woman. Like you're motivated to motivate others, because I'm, watching your brands. But what is your brand? Like, what's your calling card to the world?
My calling card is just that. Because now I put my pain to paper, it was always, I put my pain back into my community. So I also have a give back program, which gives back between the Jane Strip again. So I go from, I know that you're familiar with Jane Street. So it's like 90 miles. So it's from Jane and Wilner to Jane and Steele. So every stop in between that, random, is just hopping out of my vehicle and giving back to the community. So my brand is also to give back and to build up what is ours. Because we come from, I'm sure you know, and there's probably parts in the States as well, is the stigma that I had to fight it wasn't easy. So if I could try my best to break that for the youth coming up, I think I've done my part.
I love that. I love that you want to give something back. I love that. What do you want your legacy to be known for?
Just that. I want my legacy to be left on this place or this earth or whatever they want to call it now, because it's not the same.
Whatever.
It's just like I say that 2020 is not a year. It's just ramping grounds. It's a trial run. You know, when you get a free trial for a magazine, this is a trial run to what's coming. So my legacy, whenever this should come to an end, or whenever my time should come to an end, is that they'll say Kamelah Blair, or my street name, British royalty, was a queen to her community for giving back.
I'm stealing that. Don't worry about it.
So
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you to your face. Yeah, I'm stealing that.
That's good. That's loyalty.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna tell you. I like that because I do a lot of community events here. So, like every year we do back to school, and we've done. I think last year we did like 5,000 backpacks and supplies, and we have bands come out and music and face painting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping that in mind. So that's why I wrote that down, because Toronto is my area too. So anything to team up and to spread awareness, I'm all down for. So I'm just writing a note. Just that's
okay.
That's it. Yes, all right. Anyway, yeah, we always have to team up. And I say that it brings me to my next question. How do you feel about women coming together and teaming up? Like, how has the support been on the women's side? We'll get to both, but because it's so hard. It's so hard sometimes, but it looks like you have a good circle. It looks like you're surrounded by a great tribe.
Yes. So my circle, square, and triangle, that's what I call them. They're amazing. I'm the second youngest of my friends.
Okay.
And collectively, there's 9 of us. Now, in that 9, 4 of these women were in hand in raising me to a certain extent. So I'm normally called the brat in my friend zone. My family is disconnect. But even though there's a disconnect, when something goes wrong in the family, I'm usually the one that they call. My community, when something goes wrong in the community, I'm usually the one that they call to question. The young youth of the community, our community is separated, for those who don't know, is that there's a north side and there's a south side. So I'm normally—
now explain that, because a lot of people think, oh, Canada. What?
Oh no! Everybody just
that's what I want you to. We're gonna as I put a pinpoint in this part, we're gonna come back to women, but we're just gonna stress. I am here in the state of Florida, and when people say you're Canadian, and I'm like, yeah, they're like, oh, everybody gets along there, and I'm like, y'all just don't know. There's certain areas, there's certain cities, there's certain areas in certain cities that you just don't mix. So explain that, because that's why I'm trying to show people, like, you're a queen in these streets. Like, for you to go down Jane Street, for you to be called in the community when something's going on and they're calling Miss Blair to come in and to talk to people, like, it shows the magnitude of the woman that you are and the effect that you have on your community. So I believe you when you say your legacy, you just want to be a queen giving back to her community, because you are. And in a community that you grew up in like that, it's hard to be the one to put the elastic bands around it. And it seems like that's what you're trying to do. So I just want you to explain to people Wagwan over there.
So And I could just speak for my community, even though I know that the surrounding communities have their own trials and tribulations going on. So
Right.
Jane Street, approximately 90 miles, right? From Jane and
Mm-hmm.
Jane Station beyond, I can't claim because I never lived there. I'm only claiming Jane and Woolner to Jane and Steeles. So in the midst of that, I know that a lot of people around the world know about Jane and Finch. It's
Mm-hmm.
not what it seems to be, and I'm not saying that we have the worst ghetto out there, because Jane and Finch has a award of the most caring community, but yet they tear us
Yeah.
down. But I find it's the younger generation now is that we have North Side Jane and then there's South Side Jane, or South Side, North Side Jane.
Okay.
Me, originally, when I was born, in the midst of Jane and Finch, in the middle, there's a hospital and a police station.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
born at that hospital, but I was raised in the beginning of my years on the South Side of Jane. South Side of
Okay.
Jane also has 2 and 3 communities who now don't get along. And I'm talking, just crossing the street is you don't
Right.
you don't talk to that person, or you guys don't hang, or it's an issue. And then you have
Mm-hmm.
Jane and Finch. Now the Jane and Finch corridor has 3 tall buildings that separate now the north to south side of Jane, plus a mall. On the south side of Jane, when you cross over Jane and Finch directly across the street, I'm talking like 10 steps away, you have another mall, but it's claimed by the north side of Jane. And north
So
side of
nobody
Jane,
from the south side can go to the north side
and I
mall
find it
over there.
ridiculous, but and it's not everyone who takes this politics strong, but there is a few people who take it strong. As north side can't go to the south side mall and south side can't go to the north side mall, or you can't cross that boundary of Jane and Finch. So if you want to get
Mm-hmm.
to Steeles, or you want to get to the suburbs of Vaughan, that's just 5 minutes away now, it's suburbs, you got to take the
Right.
other way around, which sounds
Wow.
to someone who doesn't live here, it sounds weird, but it's something that we live by every single day. So now this generation, they've taken north side and south side to a whole new level, where for someone who's able to be altered is a privilege,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a privilege that many don't have. So for
Yeah.
me, is that I can go on both sides and mentor both sides, and they still listen to me. That's God.
I love that. I love that. And the fact that you want to, that's God. The fact that you feel like you need to, that's being a servant.
Yeah.
So I don't see how these blessings won't continue to overflow, because it's like you're not even doing work for you, you're doing work for others.
It's the first
Woo!
career day I did on the south side of James. So that's Oakdale Middle School. My middle
Okay.
school is Brookview, so that's on the north side of Jane. But the first career day that I ever did in mentoring, I did on the south side. So I came in, like I had a plan how to get to the kids' mind. Is I came in full 3-piece suit, blazer, and a pair of red bottoms.
Okay.
And then when I got up there, it was, hi, good morning. And I had my glasses, which I can never find till that day. Hi, good morning. My name is Camille. At the time, I had a hair salon, but I've always had my interior design as backative. And I also have my medical degree. So me spitting out these facts, I could tell, because I've been in that same position, not in that school, but in the position is, I don't want to hear what she's saying. But
Whatever,
little by,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
when I start seeing the heads and the leaning, as I took off my blazer,
Start to
under my
get
blazer,
relatable.
I had a Nike t-shirt. Under my
Mm.
slacks, I had a Nike tights that matched it. And in my bag, I had
Mhm.
the newest pair of fours at the time, newest pair of J's. And I had
Mhm.
a hat, and I put on my Nike hat and I turned it backwards. And then we got
Mhm.
comfortable. And now everybody went from this to this, and they were listening to me.
Mhm.
So it was just the stigma of, okay, she's just a lady coming here to talk off her mouth or say some stuff to get our attention.
Right.
But to this day, Millie, in that classroom, well, they're young adults now, is I get a Christmas card. I've attended one of their graduations. And when we see each other in the streets, it's, hey moms, how you doing? Not even Kamelah, not Blair anymore. It's, hey moms, how you doing? And they tell me, the talk that you gave us that day, so comfortable with us. I've taken that information and I applied it to my life. So they're grateful for it.
Beautiful.
And that was the south side.
And it's funny because some teachers would be like, oh no. Some parents would be like, oh no. And all it takes is somebody just to walk in there and just to talk to them on their level.
Yeah, and it's something that I do on Thursdays, is a parenting and mentoring that we do on our church on Instagram. Okay. And it's something that I've covered, I think 3 weeks ago, is the parents now. I know we're so off topic, but where God goes, we gotta go.
You gotta flow.
Is the parents of this new place have to understand, especially the Caribbean parents, have to understand the children. It's not about you right now. Yes, you have to instill discipline, morals, but you have to also be on a level to understand these kids. They speak different, they think different. So you have to take, I'm not saying take a class, but take note on their level so that you guys can have that better communication. So that Jamaican beating now work, the cussing now work, because these kids, they speak their minds. Is the favorite word that my niece and nephew, you're so annoying. And I say, well, so are you. Thanks. However, we're going to have this conversation. And then styles of discipline is really hurt people. So there's adults walking around. And that's also a part of my book that helped me in this last 5 to 6 months is there's grown people walking around who are still 5 and 10 years old who are hurt. So we don't want to, we have to break that cycle so that this new generation, they don't bring their pain into the future. Got to leave that pain here and just push through, because we can make it. But if the pain is what's stopping you, we're not, how? You're not happy, you're hurt. Mm-hmm. And then we cover up our healing. We cover up our hurts so well. When I sought therapy in 2017, I told no one. A few people found out by me saying it in 2018, but it was, our community doesn't believe in therapy, and I'm here to, you gotta break that. It helps.
It's good to talk to people. It's good to talk to somebody. I had a conversation the other day, and it's not for some people, but me being a life coach, it helps me even to listen to other people, and then I get things put into a different perspective. But sometimes you need that ear. And even with the kids, I mean, I can't say it enough, kids need to be heard. Yes. Kids nowadays are going through a lot of things that we went through, and then our parents went through. And what do we say forward like 50 years later is, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have had somebody to talk to. So now You're hearing more people, more men and more women speak out more, write books more, have more podcasts, have more blogs, talk about feelings, talk about mental health, because they're seeing the signs like, as a child, I wish I had this. I wish I had this avenue. And now it's like, as parents, we have to get out of you do what I say and you do it how I need to do it, and you just don't worry about it. You just put that over there and, we'll just walk over it. You can't do that now. Like nowadays, there's too many things and kids know way too much for us to just say, let's not just tell them, or let's not just talk about it.
Exactly.
So you're right. People are growing up and they're hurt, and they're hurting other people. They don't know how to have relationships with them. They don't know how to talk to them. They don't know how to take feedback, criticism. They just don't know how to be loved. They don't know how to contain it. They don't know how to deal with their anger. And it's because we don't address things. We just say, all right, we're grown. I've always been like this. And that's the worst thing to say, is I've always been like this. Like that should be the main thing to say, is I need to change, and not even for me, but for my kids. So I definitely agree. If people need counseling, seek it. If you just need a circle, seek it. But there's people that's committing suicide because they just do not have an ear. So I'm glad that you do mentorships and you help out and you listen to people, because that's what's needed right now. It's what's
Yeah,
needed,
because
girl.
growing up in a Caribbean home is, you did something wrong, you take a beating, shut up your mouth. That's it.
That's it.
Take a beating again, shut up your mouth. And for me, I don't beaten. It's not a tool for me, because for me growing up, I got immune to it. So if my mom said be home at 9, and me, because let me tell you something, I took ramping serious. So if I did not win that game, I am not going home. So if I see 9 o'clock, I'm gonna get beaten anyway. So I'm going home at 11. Yes.
Yeah, because fun's not done. So
For a key.
and then you know what? You know you're gonna get in trouble anyways. You know you're gonna get in trouble anyways. So you're like, all right.
And then in 2 to 3 days, I'm allowed back outside. So the pain, and that's what also made me a good fighter. Is I come on, that's what you call a hit? Come on. So but it's not a good thing. I know we can laugh about it now as adults, but Caribbeans don't, it's not discipline, it's basically abuse.
Look, I think, who did I have a conversation with? I think it was my mother, and she was like, that wasn't discipline. Like, I got beat. Like, she's like, if I could have called the cops on them, like, I would, like, I got beat. Like, it was not even like, oh yeah, you did something bad. She's like, I got beat, like, whoops. And I was like, sucks for you. Wasn't me, but sucks for you, ma. Sucks for you. So look, I want to get into how much support you have from strangers versus people that you know.
To be honest, because that's what I am,
Of course.
It's 50-50.
That's dope.
It's 50-50. And if I'm supposed to just even think deep, I still would give it a 50, maybe a percentage less. And that's me just trying to really, no, it's 50-50. The haters are loving it and the loved ones are loving it more.
I love it. Did you expect that? Or did you have any expectations at all?
No, I didn't. I honestly, I didn't. I expected a feedback because, again, I'm a person who, for those who don't know, Toronto's known as a screw face capital. I have a complete screw face. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So even in the midst of me partying, it's like you could catch probably 2 pictures of me my whole life smiling, because I don't smile. So it was just more therapeutic for me. So people now are saying, okay, when I get feedback, it's okay, now I know why you're so strong. Okay, now I know why you're not so inviting. Okay, now I know this, or now I know that. And it's like, okay. So because I'm not that inviting person, and I'm not an open arms person. Even when we spoke the first time, it's like I'm a vibes person and we vibe the first time. But even though it's just the pain that I've been through, I don't trust a lot, and then I have people around me who failed me so much. It's like I said, 2016, it was a dub. No, dub. And dub came with friends, dub came with family, dub came with coworkers, dub came with business. Dub, no.
Yeah, no. There's just certain no. That's it.
So the response, I'm grateful for what I'm getting back, but I didn't put thought to it. I'm just grateful for it all. And it's actually a lesson for me is they're killing me to open my personal page.
I was just about to say, is it making you step outside of a zone? Because it seems like you're outside of a zone right now. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad zone, but
I know,
forcing you to be less private, because I know you love your privacy. So
if I love it one more time, right? And it's like, because now the streets is not even calling me British anymore. The streets is calling me the Otta. Walk on the Otta. So now it's like, okay, my page is motivating. And then there's a book on there at the same time. Because I don't push the book. I want you to be on my page and, read something positive daily and then take it with you for the rest of your day. But now that they want to get to know who's this author. And it's not that I have negative things on my personal page. It's just that it was my personal page.
Right.
But I know that in a week or two, I forgot what mop. I forgot what mop. Why?
Or you put some professional, personal things on the Chronicles of Jane page, or to make them get to know a little bit of you until you feel comfortable putting them on a personal page.
That's true. That's something else.
So,
write that
little
down.
bit. Yeah, right. See, there's a gem for you, boo. Write that down. Because once you open up that personal page, there's no, dang, now I got to go down the line and take this person
That's what I'm running from, right?
And yes, you know what I'm saying? So maybe you just want to go the other way around. Since the other one is open, that's your business, it's your quotes. Put some of your cute pictures over there, show them, who's British, who's Miss Blair, who's the author, and just let them see a little bit of that. Let them, be like a good relationship. Let them earn that page.
So, there you go. Earn.
Let them earn it. Okay. All right. So anyways, I want to, before we look, we're not even talking about the book, but we are talking about the book. I want to know a point in your book that you feel that you need people to read. There's a section in that book that you need people to read. And I want to know what does it have to do with and why?
The section of the book that I need people to read and take knowledge towards me is, there's a part in the book, and I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I mean, at that point is when a lot of things changed for me in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I normally have this marked, but this is
okay.
my
I didn't even tell you. I was just like, bam. And while she's getting that tuned up, you got to check her out. So I'm gonna be posting her information, posting Farrah's information, and also if you want to connect with her or Farrah, join on their lines, meet up with them, message them, and get connected. Get to know these authors.
So there's two parts of this book where people get to know that they needed to know. So the first part goes like this. This I'll read, the other one I'll explain. This is in chapter 1. He then turned to us being me and 3 other children at the time. I'm between 5 and 6 years old at this time. He then turned to us, the children he held captive. We were standing bundled together in fear on the other side of the room. He looked directly at us and said, "This is what happens when you tell a man a lie." He took a gun from the waist of his pants, pointed the end of the gun to her head, which is his baby mother at the time, the children's mother, and pulled the trigger. And just like that, he killed her with one shot. The shot went through her head and through the TV. Time froze. I was speechless, and when I came back to reality, I immediately became aware of the kids crying. I began to console them, and in that moment, I learned how to be nurturing. So,
at the age of what? 5 and 6?
5 and 6. So, touch on it a little bit without giving out too much. That is my dad's best friend in that moment. He was definitely on drugs, which I knew about at a young age. I knew about drugs. Both of my parents are from the streets, so I knew a lot of stuff. Very intelligent. Both my parents are intelligent and both college graduates twice. This was my dad's best friend at the time. I was defiant that day, Millie. I asked my mom, could I go to their house? We lived on a four-floor building.
Okay.
Jane and Chichue.
Okay. Yeah.
Chichue. It was called Thule, but we Caribbean say Chichue.
Kick your way.
So I was defiant that day. I had asked my mom if I can go and play with them. She said no, but my babysitter lived down the hall. So I used an excuse to say, okay, well, I'm going to my babysitter's house. And then took the stairs and went upstairs to their house.
Okay.
We were held captive and escaped. And this is like in a 2 to 3 hours of the day. And in that moment, when I was silenced, even though I was nurturing my friends at the time, is I didn't speak for the next 2 to 3 years. I was mute.
Wow.
To the point where my parents sent me to Jamaica. That's how I ended up growing up in Jamaica, which I'm grateful for. I deported myself back to Canada at the age of 14. At the age of 14, I went back, I should say. Took a trip back to Jamaica, ended up staying some more time. But after that incident in that room, I didn't speak. Not that I couldn't speak. I was so traumatized that I chose not to speak. I started sleepwalking. I know it doesn't sound that way. I used to stutter and I speak fast. I'm really trying my hardest to speak slowly. Again, at the cover of this book, it has a crossroad. And the reason being is my parents lived a certain lifestyle, but my godmother had custody of me. So back then, I know this is an American platform. Back then, Malton was the boonies. It was back in the early 80s, Malton was considered, the suburbs. So I had the opportunity, and I'm calling it an opportunity because it was something that I had the opportunity to live that suburb lifestyle with my godmother. I only saw my parents after a while on the weekends. So it was hard for me to choose what life am I going to really take forward as I got older. And mind you, while I was younger, I didn't know the magnitude of my parents. I didn't understand it. It's when I turned into my teens or preteens, I started to hear a lot and witness a lot. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's why everybody, nobody wants anything to happen to me. Everybody wants to take care of me. So in that 2 to 3 years, it created a lot of thoughts. It created a lot of pain, and it created a lot of anger. Anger that I just let go last year. Another part of this book that I wanted people to know was there's a part in this book where I paid off my mother. I started to be a street girl myself. My first big payout, my first big money then. Yeah. The first big money.
First big money that reached, yeah.
I called my father. I called my godmother. I told them to meet me at my mother's building. We went upstairs. We were there for a while. I had my intentions the whole time. And I had done my research at school. And I think we're there for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. And I pulled out $30,000, which was the money to have me the year that I was born. And I slid it across her dining table. And I said, I don't owe nobody anything. I don't owe you an obligation. I'm grateful. I don't owe you no obligation. I don't owe anybody in this room an obligation. I'm my own person. I'm letting go of any ties that you guys have to me now. And I walked away and left my father and my godmother in that room. I broke it that day. And I needed people to know that me being so strong was because at that moment for me, nobody can tell me nothing again. Who can tell me something? No, talk to me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that's what I needed people to know is not that I was just going around thinking I'm on a high horse or
Mhm.
I'm better than anybody. I broke
Right.
ties on who I owed the most, which is my mother who gave me life. 9 months of carrying me. I Googled it. Google wasn't even that big. I had an IBM computer. I went to the library. I figured it out. I went to the hospital. Like I did a whole research. How much money, if she was an immigrant, how much money would it have cost to have me on this date and this year and this time? And when they told me
Right.
30,000, when I got my first big money, shubit PR. So that was the chip or the cockiness people thought that I had. It wasn't a sense of being cocky. It was a sense of I don't owe nobody no obligation anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. That was a boss move.
Thank you.
That was a boss move. Like that was a boss move. I mean, whew, whew.
You felt that.
Yeah, because it's like a movie. Is this gonna go into a movie? I
I
mean,
can't say.
you know, I'm gonna write that down. I said on this day, is it gonna be a movie? I'm just trying to do the premiere. That's it. I'm just
All
trying to do
right.
the interview for the premiere. That's
You
it. You
know
know
the
what I'm
vibe.
saying? That's it. I don't need nothing else. That's all I need. I say, you know what? I know her. I do. I know her.
Right. That's
I
my friend. I
swear.
know her.
Yeah, I say that's the queen of giving back. I promise it is. And now she's a big, big movie star. She don't owe nobody nothing.
I
Oh,
claim it. I claim it. Thank you.
but that's what we have to do. And I'm so glad that you said that because your whole story just seems like you've claimed everything.
Hmm.
Like you've worked hard for everything. Don't get me wrong, but you're claiming it. Like, and you're walking in it, and you're cutting off people that's not in alignment with you. You're doing things that don't feel good. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So I like that you're really just walking in your vision. Like it's dope to see.
And it's one of the quotes that I say two or two of the quotes is take what you know from the streets and turn it into Wall Street. And the other one would be the
Ooh,
golden path set before me. I
yeah,
laid my bricks and planted my own seed. It's my path. And that's
that's
why I
it.
paid. I know it sounds bad to a lot, but it's just that no time. This is my time now.
Yeah, yes. This is not about nothing else and nobody else. It's just about
So
me.
there you go.
It's just about me. And I tell people all the time to be selfish in your season.
Amen.
Be selfish in your season. If you need to take time out, but be selfish in your season because it's your season and you don't want it to pass you by because look how long you had this book in you. Lit-
Girl.
Man, you didn't have this book in you for years.
Girl.
Look, I know I had one thing that I wanted to. We are in this COVID season. And I call it a season because this whole pandemic, this whatever, the COVID corona thing, has it helped you or hurt you?
Ooh. I am grateful for COVID-19, Corona, whatever they want to call it. Grateful. Because even though I'm a homebody person, I wasn't home all the time.
Okay.
But it gave me the opportunity again. Chronicles of Jane was birthed in that Corona time,
Ah,
right?
right.
It also gave me time to lock down. Because I always tell people now is Corona time was time for you to, reverse,
Yeah.
reflect, and move forward. And I and,
Mhm.
and I know that my sleep not keep posse, I always tell them these young people I deal with at nighttime is if you come out of COVID with nothing, I don't want to speak to you next time. Whenever they give us 2022, 2023, if you came out of COVID with
Oh,
nothing
no.
or you didn't complete something, no, bye boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you weren't busy. So what were you doing? You weren't
Yeah.
busy. and the tools are so much easier compared to when we were younger. Is you had the internet in Toronto, well, in Canada, they're not allowed to cut off our bills. So you had the internet, you had your phone.
Okay,
So
yeah.
why didn't you get it done? Because the resources were still there for you to get it done. You could have still registered that business. You could have still wrote that book. You could have still took a class online.
Right.
Why didn't you get it done? So then we can't be friends.
Oh, because you're not as serious.
No. What did you sacrifice? The world sacrificed time and gave it to you. Gave you a whole 24 hours, a whole 3 to 4 months where we couldn't go nowhere. Now we're being lenient. But what did you do in that time except getting fat? Because all of us got fat.
Look, and I try to tell people, and whatever fat you got, just send it over to me because I'm sitting
I'll
down
put it in
here.
a box. UPS tomorrow morning. Amazon next day Prime. Done.
Look, let me tell you, I'm like this. I'm like, okay, let me try this. What is it? NutriBurst. I'm doing everything over the COVID. Okay, I, look, like I feel like your group Sleep Not Keep. Like I don't know if my spirit is in that group because I'm definitely not sleeping. Like
No.
COVID has made me amped up my hustle.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's times where I have to lock off people, and I know people despise me for doing it, but I have no peace unless I do. Like I have no peace unless I do. So I like the whole locking down and really being focused because that's when you can really determine like what's for you. Then you get to listen to internal voices and feelings on like where you should go next and so forth.
Exactly.
I love
Absolutely.
it. No, I love it. We have to look at, I think that we have to look at every disaster and see how we could come out of it positive,
Take
because
negative and turn into positive. It's a must.
I mean, if you don't, I mean, you can't live a pessimistic life. I mean, at least not around me.
No.
That's like a cancer to me. Like I can't deal with it. But I like that your tone of life is so bright. I mean, I want everybody to go out and get this book. Everybody needs to go out and get this book. Like I cannot stress that enough. Go out and get this book. You need to stay in tune to Kamelah Blair, the author. Okay, the queen of giving back to her community, the queen of and it's not even just Jane Street. It's just the queen period. Because anybody that steps outside of the hurt and acknowledges it publicly is a beast because transparency is it's so needed and
Right.
everybody has this facade, and I'll say like I had a facade for years. I didn't know who the heck I was trying to be for a minute. I was like, because you go through so many things and with kids and relationships and
Mhm.
just business and life, you try to figure out who you are. And I'm glad that you know who you are because it's so loud. Like it's really
Yes.
loud. It really is. So before let me make sure I tag into it. Has your outlook on life changed after doing this book?
I wouldn't say it changed. I would just say that it pushed me to do more. Like I was doing enough. My friends will tell you when people came to the venue, they were like,
Mhm.
"What is she doing now? What does she do now? Oh my gosh, what is it now?" Like, because in COVID too, um, we started the church IG that's on Instagram is I started a church because I had
Right.
most of my elders who they were Christians
Yeah.
and sleep not keep posse. We stayed up from basically midnight to 5 a.m., 7 a.m., sometimes 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And then I turned to
Wow.
Delroy Famous and I said, "This no look good, Delroy, because we're up and we can't technical God that this no look good." So then we started the church IG, which is now we have like over 700 members now, and it's
Wow.
mostly young people. And there's even baptism. We did one baptism already during the COVID, and then we have another baptism coming up in is it I think it's next week. Also in
Wow.
COVID, my road manager Michelle, I call her my road manager. She started her kitchen, and I used to go down there and help her cook. So it was like I was the sous chef. So it was like
Yeah.
it wasn't just that my outlook didn't change on life. It was just that I have to do more and more in a positive light. And again, it touches on me having to be transparent, which a lot of people never had access to me like this. So that's more, and it's positive, so I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good.
mind it at all.
That's good.
And you
Have
know
you
what?
had
I do
any?
write down that we're gonna finish talking about the women's support.
Yeah, please. You know how us women get. We talk about one thing and it goes to a next. But yes, yes,
I know, but it's something that I like to touch on. It's
yes. I
not just,
want you to.
even in the Caribbean community, we're used to
Mm.
tearing down one another. I said that in the voice because that's how I usually talk.
Yeah.
We're used to tearing down one another.
Yeah.
I was looking for the tear down and I
Ah.
never received it because
Oh.
it's me being transparent. I'm not tearing down nobody in my book. I'm telling you, it's my story to be told. So the women that have messaged me so far are women saying, wow, I've been through a similar situation. Could I talk to you about it? How did you get through it? Or I see you in the dance and I can't believe this is what you were going through. I want to see you and give you a hug, or I respect you, or I rate you more because you put your pain on a paper and now I can do the same. So the women aren't tearing it down. The women are being uplifting, to be honest.
Mm.
And I like that.
I love that. And it's always empowering to feel empowered by other
Yes.
women. And as much as I see it so much, I don't care. I don't need nobody, no new friends. I don't, oh, she thinks she's so nice. I mean, and we say all these things and we don't know them, and I say we because I'm talking about just women in general. But as you said, it happens in every community. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad that it happened so much. But I will say this, with the Caribbean community, I am so sad that it happens as
Sad.
much as it does. Not to say any other community should or shouldn't, or levels. I'm just saying that's a community that I personally come from. So I can say, and I've seen it. And I've even seen it here in Florida. I mean, you would think, maybe some people have something in common, and hey girl, how you doing? I mean, the next day you hear something that's untrue, or oh, you
Oh,
see her, she a beg friend. Yeah, she a beg friend. She a beg friend. And you're just like, I thought we could just vibe, y'all. I thought we could just see some like-minded individuals and just holla. But it's always, oh, you're doing that? Now I can't support you because I'm doing that. Oh, you're doing that? Oh, you think you're too nice? Nah, anyways, I'm gonna do bigger and better. They don't even want to do it. But it's like a competition thing. It's like I can't support you because you're doing what I'm doing. So
mm-hmm.
when I hear that it's 50-50 and that you're still getting support, I love that, because I feel like us women, we can do more if we support one another. It's not about
Absolutely.
if I know you or not. I don't have. Do you know how many people I do not know that I literally put on my page? I had somebody message me the other day. Hey Queen, check out this product. Okay, checked it out. It was dope. I put a screenshot, or I don't know, I posted it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is my brand. I'm gonna send you something in the mail. I didn't know. I had no idea. She says, look at it. I looked at it. It was dope. I didn't look at the color of her skin. I didn't look at how many followers. I didn't look at that. The fact is that we see people doing something and we don't support it because it's always similar to what we're doing. And I just want to know, how do we get out of that stigma? How do we overcome that?
I don't know how we're gonna see. For me, stigma, and just to touch on this is I was never the person to correct your assumption. So even through the book, they're like, oh, that's what really happened? Yeah, but I didn't have to tell you that. So I always say on my Snapchat from when from I got Snap, That was the most interaction people had with me is, do you know me or do you know of me?
Mm-hmm.
What you know of me, I could guarantee is a damn lie.
Yeah.
But I would never correct it.
Yeah.
Another thing is that these people are using this word friend too loose. You know her?
Everybody's a friend.
You know, so for me in my group of circle of friends is I'm always that standoff one who says, no, do you want ice? Take the ice I'm going to miss. We are doing this up so long. No, we don't want a friend. Because they're opportunists, right? So
Yeah, yeah, there are
it's not
some.
that I want to tear on another lady, it's I want to congratulate you. But are you doing it for hype, or are you really putting your passion in it that you are doing this? Or are you just saying, yes, Sarah did do this, so me I'm gonna do this now, and I'm gonna be hype, I'm gonna be known and for an image. And I can't congratulate you if you're just gonna be taking it seriously for the time that it's trending, and then no,
Right.
I can't do
Right.
that.
No.
I can't put my name
No.
on that, and I can't put my time into that.
I like that you said that. I can't put my name on that because I say that a lot to people.
Hmm.
And I say, I can't put my name on that. Well, why? You know, I'm going to pay you X and
No, I
X.
can't.
No, because that's not going towards my brand. So I can't just put my name on that. Just not anything. Are you kidding me? But there is women that friend opportunists. I
You
I
know,
I haven't seen it as much anywhere except here in the last couple of years. Maybe because it's more of a business thing, but
hmm.
where you really think you have a friend until business goes awry and it's no friendship, you know? Or if you can't do something for them in business, it's
Hmm.
no friendship. So I've seen that as well too.
And when
So
somebody shows you their true you, I'm never upset. That's you, boo. I don't hate you. It's just that now that you had this 50-50 with me, you're 5% over there. When I see you, it's, hey, how are you doing? How's the family? That's nice. And then it's cut off. If you don't have, it's not fair to me.
right,
Your energy is not welcome here. I don't hate
exactly.
you. It's just I don't rate your way you do stuff. I don't rate what you're doing. You're wasting time. We just can't be that, and it's fine.
Yeah, because it's not about wasting time right now. Time is money.
No,
So we don't have time to waste. All right. Well, before we conclude this beautiful interview, I want to know what's your advice for people out there that are seeing this interview and that are reading your book? What's your advice to them?
my advice to anybody who's listening, anybody who's watching, and anybody who's read my book or is in the midst of reading my book is be true to yourself. Take the time to thank yourself every day. We're so thankful for a lot, but a lot of people don't take the time to just look in the mirror and say, thank you, British. Thank you, British, that you got up this morning. Thank you, British, that you made it on the show today. Thank you. Thank yourself. Thank yourself and congratulate yourself before you do to anybody else. Take the time to thank yourself and congratulate yourself.
I love
You
that.
felt that,
I love
right?
that. Because you have to, I do like morning salutations, you know, like saying just
Mm-hmm.
thankful for everything. And I think that's very important. No matter what your belief is, no matter who you seek, no matter what, like it's not about a religion thing. Like this is just a awareness of yourself. So definitely. And somebody said, great advice. Be true to
Thank you. You're
yourself.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yes. I mean, it's you have to feel it. And I love that your self-love and your self-care, it shows. Like it literally like is a glow. So I just want to make sure that you continue to glow. I cannot wait to see what more you have. I mean, and let people know how they can reach you and what you have coming up soon. Because I know you have some stuff touring
Oh,
here,
yes,
there,
girl. So I
signing.
completed the city tour. Because of Corona, it's limited what we can do. So the city tour is
Okay.
complete. Um,
Okay.
to be honest, book two wasn't gonna come out until next year, if they're calling it a year. But the
Yeah.
overwhelming response,
Mm-hmm.
look out for book 2 in November.
Ooh, you heard it.
Look, I dropped it here. We get a drum roll.
Okay,
November
dang.
2020, you guys will get the second part of Chronicles of Jane.
Yes.
I also, while launching the Chronicles of Jane on July the 23rd, I also launched COJ Chronicle of Jane books with a Z, and that was our book club. So where we're going to discuss first we're discussing of course the book. So I usually post on the books page on Instagram when we discuss chapter to chapter of the book, and also discuss what happened that week or what parts of the book relate to what's going on right now, because this book's starting off in the early 80s, right? And then I've also taken an oath, put my hand up every time I say this, is working with Farah under my brand COJ Books is to help youth, and not only just the youth but adults as well, is to put your pain to paper or your passion to paper. And my goal is to assist in them on steps to taking to writing their own book, autobiography, or even their notes, a journal. Publish your own journal so that you can place your pain to paper or your passions to paper. So if you cook, I'm going to encourage you, well, you know what, leave a legacy behind. Of course it can be profitable, but leave that legacy behind. Do a cookbook.
Right.
So 50 to 100 youth, including adults. There goes my dog.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, isn't that what it's all about?
Yes.
Is to go through something, come out positive, and now actually pave a way. So now you're paving a way with your book, and you're not saying, okay, yeah, I just want to do another book, another series. You're saying, I want to help others do
Right.
more. As I said earlier, that's a servant. But I'm gonna keep my stuff to myself because that's definitely a servant. But I ain't saying nothing. I thank you for coming out.
I appreciate being here.
Don't look, y'all. I know that there's kids in the picture. She's got a family life. She's got a personal life.
Done.
I'm not asking about her relationship status. That's not this type of look. I know I'm gonna hear all messages. Ooh, how can I get in contact with her? For professional reasons.
Done.
Okay, because we're trying to look, we not wasting no energy or no time all 2020. So for professional reasons and for reaching out to my girl Kamelah Blair, the author of Chronicles of Jane. Yo, you got to get this book, because from the snippets and the excerpts and from the reviews and the interviews that she's done, because I'm not the first interview that she has done. Like, people
2 more to go for the day.
Okay, people want to hear her. The other day she posted that her books were like sold out.
Yeah. So hard copies are completely sold out between mailing out and between the city tour that we did. And the Jane Finch community was a great support. I was surprised. We went to Scarborough. We went to Niagara Falls.
Scarborough, big up Guildwood. Sorry.
Yes, the east side.
Okay.
We went to Scarborough. We went to Hamilton. We went to Ajax. We did Vaughan. We did Woodbridge. We did Jane and Finch. Like I said, we did Rexdale. We went to Rexdale.
Okay.
Okay. Did a little bit of downtown. So we covered the city. The books are sold out, but you can still get the book on Amazon.com.
Okay.
Or you can purchase it on Kindle as well.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the world to open up so I can get over to the States. Well, that's not looking promising right now.
I know, especially for your side and my side. The two people ain't getting along. So, but that's okay. That's okay. If you need anything, just reach out to me. If you want some distribution on this side, let me know. If people are reaching out to me, I will send them your way. I am happy to help at any capacity that I can. I love this vision you have. I love the journey that you have. I love Farah. I don't know what else to say about her. You know what I'm saying? She literally is like, it's unreal. Like she makes me a little uncomfortable sometimes because she's so awesome. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, dang,
Absolutely.
like I'm trying to get to that level, Farrah. I'm trying to get, like, she's just so professional and
Right. Absolutely.
she's so in tune to who she's working with. You're never just a client. You're never just a customer.
Absolutely.
You're family, you know? So if you're looking for somewhere to publish, if you're looking for some mentorship, if you're looking for your home to be interior designed, if you're looking for a book club, yo, if you're looking for somebody to give you the ins and the outs, okay, of the city, please reach out to Kamelah Blair. Kamelah Blair, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I so appreciate you. So appreciate you. So, any last words you want to give to people? Shout outs or just whatever?
Shout out my city first and foremost. Shout out my what do you call it now? My block, I guess. Jane and Finch. Obviously, Sleep Not Keep family, the church IG, my family, my friends, and most of all, my parents and my children.
Nice.
Same way I'll end off my shows on Sleep Not Keep is for everyone, first and foremost, before I end, Millie, thank you for having me here. I appreciate you from one queen to another. May your day, the rest of your day be blessed and fruitful. May your fruit basket never be empty. This platform is just the first of many or greater. That being said, everyone on here, thank you for joining. Keep yourself a clear mind, a clear heart. Be kind to someone today. And remember, put God first.
Oh, I love it. Girl, got me chills. I love it. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in to the QueenMillie Show with Miss Kamelah Blair. Go pick up the book and follow. Pick up.
Thank you.